Hi, John Cowan here with another real estate message for you as we approach the mid part of December. I'm with Ultra Realty. I'm located in Richardson, Texas in the DFW Metroplex area. I'm licensed in Texas and I'm speaking to all of you because our markets are very similar across the country. We do have uniqueness here in this market, so of course I'll focus on that. But let me start off by saying we are going to come through this pandemic. We are going to see very similar circumstances in 2021 for the housing market as what we have seen for the latter part of this year. So let me preface with that, and then let me tell you that in this market in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, back in March, no one would have predicted where we would be today based in March what was happening. We have more than gained ground. We have surpassed the gains that we had last year for the full year, and we are up dramatically in price and activity. So what does that mean to you? What does it mean to you if you're thinking that you want to buy, you want to sell, you want to lease? I'm just going to kind of scatter shoot and hit you with some bullet points here to think about, okay? So first off, one of the downsides of a hot market is the price growth. The good news is, for sellers, it's your market. But for buyers, the good news is that the mortgage interest rates have dropped from where they were last year. Today, you can still purchase a home that you could have bought for less money last year, but with the interest rates lower, that house is still costing you less this year than it would have last year by approximately $90 a month on a $300,000 home. Folks, that's phenomenal. So with a 7 to 10% growth in prices, mortgage rates have offset that, and not going to be like that forever. And I don't think we'll make it through the end of next year before we'll start to see that difference shorten. So I can tell you that in Dallas in October, and the November stats I haven't looked at yet, we'll get those in the next week or so. But here's what was going on. We've had a 71% increase here in the Metroplex for houses on the market compared to October of last year. 71% gain in the number of houses that have been put on the market. Yet we have no houses for the demand. How does that work? Supply and demand. We still have a demand in this market, and even though the supply has increased over last year, we are still short. Does that tell you where we're going to head into next year? If not, we need to talk, okay? The average list price last year in October in the Dallas area was $382,000. This year in October, we were $423, okay? So close to a 10% increase. Active listings, here's the number. This sums it up. Last October, we had over 4,000 listings on the market for sale in our MLS system in this area. This year, 1,650. No houses, okay? Affordable houses, John, is there such a thing? Yes, there are options. And you can look at condos, you can look at townhomes. That may not be the perfect single family residence that you're looking for, but it could be a stepping stone for you, okay? Much more affordable, maybe. You have to be careful of the homeowner association fees that are attached to those sort of houses. But it is an option. And single family residences, we're going to see a new trend. This is why I like to do these videos. Things happen consistently as we try to adapt to the needs that we have, no matter what it is. Here's the adaptation for the supply. We're going to see in 2021 large companies coming into this market that are going to build new homes for the rental market. They're going to build new homes to be presented to people who can't purchase, don't want to purchase, but would like a new home. They'll be for rent. I'm not expecting those to be real affordable, but they could be more affordable than some of what you're seeing on the market. So as that supply comes into the market, that could help you if you're going to lease. So interesting to watch that, and it's going to start in Fort Worth, and we'll see probably 500 to 1,000 homes kicked off very quickly in that market, and we'll see where that goes from there. I thought this was interesting, and I'm a numbers guy and I don't want to bore you, but I'm going to hit you with some median home prices. Why? I want you to get a snapshot of what's happening in our different communities here as compared to, let's say, our Golden Triangle here in Texas, okay? And Golden Triangle, I mean San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, and in the middle, Austin, okay? So first off, real quick, Dallas, we are approaching $425,000 as our median list price on a home available in this market. Fort Worth, $265,000, dramatically lower, okay? That's just at the moment. That can change by the month. Frisco, of course, one of the hottest areas in the country, one of the hottest areas here in our market for years. $460,000. It's the highest price community that we have here in the Metroplex. McKinney, about $370,000. Plano, $400,000. Why? Plano has been built out. You've got more equity. You've got more value there. McKinney, some of the newer homes that were built were a little lower price. And so it's interesting to watch the various communities. Garland, $240,000, one of our most affordable communities. Okay, so can you buy a home for under $250,000? Yes, you can. Okay, you need to be patient. You need to be flexible. Okay, how does that compare to some of the other markets, here in the country? Houston, $310,000 as an average for all of Houston. Austin, $455,000. San Antonio, $242,000. You see what's going on? So we've got affordable housing here in Texas. We've got affordable housing here in the Metroplex. It's just going to be a little harder to catch those properties, and you have to be a little more flexible. I'll share this with you. Some of you who know me know that I'm a landlord. I love investing in real estate, and I love to renovate properties. I'm going to be working on one here for the next several months. So can we find a new home, almost completely renovated, and size-wise, is good, under $250,000, $260,000? I'm going to have one in April, maybe May of this year. So yes, it can be done. A caution to you. Not all investors will do what needs or should be done maybe to a home. So you just need to be very careful when you're looking at homes that have been renovated to make sure they haven't just done the candy and glitter. Make sure that they've done the structural, the important things, the big five as I call them, the mechanicals, the roof, the foundation. Very critical. That's where you need professional help to protect you when you're out there looking for a house. I want to share with you some options for buyers for mortgage loans to make it more affordable. VA, 0% down payment. USDA, another government program for rural areas, 0% down payment. FHA, 3.5%, conventional, 3%. You don't have to put down 20%, 10%, or 5%. You can even have down payment assistance programs to help you, and gifts from parents, family, okay, that can help you with all those upfront costs. A lot of options. Real quick, credit scores. 620, you can buy a home today in this market for 620 credit score, and I mean a mortgage FICO score, not a consumer FICO score. It's a difference. 640 is better. 740 is the best. Call me and I'll talk to you and explain what happens in between and from both ends of the spectrum. Sellers, it's your market, okay? Buyers are sacrificing looking for their dream home, and they're finding what will work for them and makes sense. Hence, it gives you more market looking at your property, and it's going to continue that way through next year. I want to mention something to you as a seller. Something that we do when we have a transaction between a buyer and a seller, a buyer gets to do what's called a buyer's inspection report. I tell some of my sellers, don't be shy. Go out and pay for that report for yourself, whether you want to put your house on the market or not. For in the neighborhood of $325 to $425, you can have a complete detailed home inspection by a certified home inspector in the state of Texas. You can have a WDI, wood destroying insect report as well, to tell you what condition your condition is in. What condition is your home in? What are some potential problems that you've got right now that you need to stop before you have further damage? What are some potential problems coming in a wet season or in the dry season that you could offset right now? What you might be able to do now when you have the opportunity and more flexibility than waiting until a buyer does a report on your house and comes to you and says, guess what? We need to change the contract because you've got things wrong with the house. Very interesting little things like that that you can do for your own good feeling about your own home, but also as a precursor to you ever putting your home on the market. Very minimal investment to have a lot of information. That's what I'm all about, folks. And if you're a tenant, same thing. Talk to me. I just visited with a tenant who is troubled with renting and buying. We had a nice conversation, and I hope that I calmed her down with worrying about the right decision. She shouldn't be pressured, and I explained why. And then we talked about the benefits of both and what would it mean if she waited another year. And it wasn't a horrible thing. So those are the things that I want to do if I can help you with questions that are serious, because this is a serious decision for you to make, a serious commitment. And I want to be there to help you to make sure you know your options, you know the right thing for you. I'm John Cowan. I'm with Ultra Realty. I'm located again in the Metroplex. If you're in Texas, reach out to me. If you're in other parts of the country, I'd be happy to talk to you and answer questions. In Texas, I can help you in other cities by helping you to find a qualified agent that I know will protect your interest the way that I would like to protect your interest. Reach out to me. You can reach me on my cell phone at 214-697-1146, or go to my website, John Cowan, that's spelled C-O-W-A-N, properties.com. Folks, thank you, and we'll look for you next week, right here at the real estate market, housing market in Texas. Thanks again.